Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. Arsenal nicked a massive point in a proper blood and thunder London derby at the Bridge, grinding out a 1-1 draw against 10-man Chelsea to stay top of the pile, even if City have nibbled the gap down to 5. It was one of those classic ding-dong affairs you only get when these two lock horns, full-blooded tackles flying in, Anthony Taylor dishing out cards like confetti at a wedding, and then the whole game flipping on its head just before the break when Moises Caicedo went full ice skating rink on Mikel Merino's shin. Proper horror challenge, studs up, blood everywhere. VAR had a butcher's, told Taylor to make it red, and suddenly half of Stamford Bridge went quieter than a library on Christmas Day. Merino, being a proper tough Basque nutter, just got the magic sponge slapped on, cracked on, and later nodded in the equaliser like nothing had happened. Chelsea somehow still pinched the lead when Trevoh Chalobah climbed above everyone at a corner and buried his header, sending the Matthew Harding into absolute scenes, but the lead lasted about as long as a pint in the sun. 90 seconds later Soccer slung one of his wicked deliveries in and Merino, still hobbling about with his sock looking like a crime scene, rose like a salmon and leathered it home, cue limbs everywhere in the away end. From then on it was wave after wave of Arsenal pressure, Declan Rice bossing midfield like he'd nicked Frank Lampard's old boots, Soccer giving James the absolute runaround, but fair play to Robert Sanchez, the bloke was pulling off saves like prime Gordon Banks on Red Bull. 10-man Chelsea parked the bus, the tram and the entire district line, and somehow clung on. A point away at a gaff like that ain't to be sniffed at, but Arteta's lot will be gutted they didn't stick a couple more past them and take all three. Classic Premier League chaos, proper job. Reece James speaks out about tense London derby ends in gritty 1-1 draw as Arsenal hold firm against 10-man Chelsea. In the sweltering cauldron of Stamford Bridge, Arsenal eked out a vital point in a pulsating London derby, battling back to secure a 1-1 stalemate against a resilient Chelsea side reduced to 10 men early on. The Gunners, clinging to their perch at the summit of the Premier League, withstood waves of controversy and Chelsea's dogged defending to keep their title charge on track, though Manchester City's recent form has whittled the gap to a precarious 5 points. The game ignited like a dodgy firework right from kickoff, with both sets of players snapping at heels and trading barbs as much as passes. Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta's watchful eye, came armed with their trademark high press, suffocating Chelsea's midfield and forcing Enzo Maresca's young guns into hurried clearances. Bukayo Saka, that cheeky scouser with feet like quicksilver, terrorized Reece James down the right flank from minute 1, jinking past the Chelsea skipper like he was dodging traffic on Oxford Street. As the first half wore on, the tension ratcheted up to boiling point, the air thick with the scent of liniment and impending doom. Stamford Bridge, that grand old fortress of blue, pulsed with a kind of electric hostility that only these derbies can muster, fans belting out "blue is the colour" 1 minute, then jeering every Arsenal touch the next. It was all building to a crescendo, with Taylor's cards fluttering out like autumn leaves, a yellow here for a late lunge, a booking there for dissent. Then came the turning point, a moment etched in the annals of Premier League infamy. Moises Caicedo, Chelsea's Ecuadorian pitbull, charging in like a bull at a Pamplona barbie and raking his studs down Mikel Merino's shin in a challenge that had the away end baying for blood. Claret everywhere, socks soaked redder than a guardsman's tunic. It was the sort of horror tackle that makes you wince into your half-time pie. VAR, that cold-hearted overlord, had a gander upstairs, and within seconds, Taylor was jogging over with the dreaded pink card, upgrading yellow to red in the 36th minute. It was Chelsea captain Reece James, that stalwart fullback with the swagger of a King's Road dandy, who cut through the post-match fog with his razor-sharp verdict on Arsenal's efforts. Speaking to the press huddle outside the tunnel, James didn't mince words about how his side had out-muscled the league leaders despite the numerical disadvantage. "We dominated the game in every area throughout, with 11 men and 10 men, he declared, his Geordie lilt laced with pride. Arsenal are top side. No doubt Soccer's a nightmare to mark, always twisting and turning like he's got magnets in his boots, and Rice bosses the midfield like he's been there for years." The restart brought Chelsea's moment of magic, a riposte to the red card that stunned the travelling faithful into silence. Just after the hour mark, from a whipped corner that swung like a pub dart, Trevoh Chalobah rose imperiously, all 6'4" of him, a London bus in human form, and thumped a header past a flailing Raya into the top corner. The Matthew Harding stand erupted in a blue-tinted apocalypse, scarves aloft, pints spilling like confetti at a cup final. It was the perfect set-piece sucker punch, Chalobah peeling off his marker like a pro and burying it with the venom of a man settling a pub grudge. But derbies, bless their chaotic souls, never stay quiet for long, and Arsenal's riposte was swift and savage. Barely had the cheers died down when Soccer, that eternal tormentor, latched onto a loose ball on the right and whipped in one of his devilish crosses low, vicious, curling like a dodgy kebab wrapper in the wind. Up rose Merino, the Basque warrior with his leg still bandaged like a mummy's curse, leaping highest amid a forest of limbs to crash a header goal ward. From there, it was Arsenal's siege. Wave after relentless wave crashing against Chelsea's barricades, the Gunners hurling everything bar the kitchen sink in search of a winner. Rice roamed like a colossus, threading needles through traffic and winning free kicks with his sheer bloody-mindedness. Soccer danced past James time and again, forcing the captain into desperate last-ditch slides that left divots on the pitch. Martin Odegaard, subbed on gingerly after his injury layoff, added a touch of Norwegian silk to the chaos, his vision unlocking pockets of space that Chelsea's 10 men could only dream of filling. In the final reckoning, as the whistle pierced the December chill like a merciful pardon, both camps trudged off with a point apiece, Arsenal relieved but rueful, Chelsea defiant and dreaming. Arteta's mob had dominated the stats, bossing 70% possession and peppering the target with efforts, but that killer instinct eluded them against a foe who'd fight tooth and nail for a draw. For the Gunners, it's another notch in the title belt, a road point at a fortress where lesser sides crumble, yet the What IFS linger like a hangover. 2 dropped in SW6, with City lurking like wolves at the door. Gabriel Magalhaes delivers spot-on verdict on Chelsea scrap after Arteta's injury headache. In the heart of Stamford Bridge's blue-tinted cauldron, Arsenal clawed a gritty point from the jaws of a proper London ding-dong, settling for a 1-1 draw against 10-man Chelsea that leaves the Gunners perched atop the Premier League pile, but only 5 points clear with a mad December dash looming like a hangover after a Wembley bender. It was one of those classic derbies where the air's thick with verbals and flying boots, Arsenal bossing it without half their backline due to knocks that'd make a butcher weep. Without Gabriel Magalhaes nursing a groin twinge from Brazil duty and William Saliba sidelined by a training niggle, Mikel Arteta had to improvise like a scouser at a chippy, shoving Piero Hincapié and Christian Mosquera into the heart of defence, while up top, Mikel Merino moonlighted as a striker, bagging his 6th goal involvement of the campaign. The game kicked off like a dodgy firework in the fog, end-to-end scraps with both sides snapping at ankles and Anthony Taylor dishing out bookings like free samples at Borough Market. Arsenal, under Arteta's gimlet eye, pressed like they were chasing a pint at last orders, suffocating Chelsea's midfield and forcing Enzo Maresca's pups into clearances straight to row Z. Bukayo Saka, that wiry wizard from Euston, terrorized the flanks early doors, jinking past markers like he was weaving through rush hour on the Northern Line. Declan Rice anchored the engine room with the grit of a Geordie miner, breaking play and pinging passes that had the away end purring. Then, just as the half ticked towards its crescendo, the powder keg blew. Moises Caicedo, Chelsea's Ecuadorian enforcer, steamed in like a bull in a china shop, raking studs down Merino's shin in a lunge that turned the pitch into a crime scene. Claret everywhere, socks soaked redder than a pillar box after rain. Taylor, bless him, flashed a yellow at first, but VAR upstairs had a butcher's and piped up, "Have a word, ref, make it pink." Off trudged Caicedo, head down like a lad caught nicking sweets, and Stamford Bridge fell quieter than the Circle Line at midnight. Resilience? That's Chelsea's middle name on days like this, and they nicked the opener bang on the hour like a cheeky 5-finger discount. Reece James whipped in a corner sharper than a Gillingham barber, and up soared Trevoh Chalobah, all 6'4" of him, a double-decker in boots, to thump a header past Raya into the onion bag. The Matthew Harding end went proper ape's hit, scarves twirling like maypoles at a village fete, pints airborne in a fizzy salute. It was the ultimate gut punch set-piece, Chalobah ghosting his man and burying it with venom that silenced the away faithful for a hot minute. But derbies don't half love a twist, and Arsenal's riposte came quicker than a cab in the rain. 90 seconds later, Soccer latched onto scraps on the right and slung in one of his whipped crosses, curling like a dodgy kebab wrapper in the wind. Merino, still patched up like a plaster's ad, rose highest in the mixer, a Basque bruiser among the trees, and nodded it home past a sprawling Robert Sanchez. Cue Bedlam in the away end, limbs akimbo, chants rattling the rafters like thunder over the lee. 1 each, and the momentum flipped faster than a coin at Chuckalucky. From there, it was Arsenal's siege of the bridge, wave upon relentless wave, the Gunners lobbing everything bar the family silver at Chelsea's barricades. Rice roamed midfield like a one-man wall, threading silk through the chaos. Soccer gave James the absolute runaround, forcing the skipper into slides that left skid marks on the turf. Even with the makeshift defense holding firm, Hincapie and Mosquera scrapping like terriers in a scrap, chances pinged off posts and palms, Raya up for corners like a keeper at a wake. Enter Gabriel Magalhães, the Brazilian colossus sidelined by that groin gremlin, who piped up from the treatment table with a verdict sharper than a Stanley knife. A simple heart emoji under Merino's Instagram post, take the point and make it good on Wednesday. Crazy week for the team. Golf ball and hole emojis, COYG. Proper captain's armband stuff, that, Gabriel, ever the quiet enforcer, summing up the graft without a word wasted, a nod to the lads who'd battled through the injury fog and Caicedo carnage. It's the sort of understated graft that gets Arsenal fans misty-eyed, knowing their rock at the back's got their six even from the stands. Arteta, meanwhile, didn't sugarcoat the injury blues in his post-match chinwag, his Basque fire flickering through the presser like a Zippo in the wind. On Gabriel's knock, I don't know how long he'll be out. He's got another test tomorrow. We'll see the extent of that sensation. Still some weeks to go, mind. Proper pragmatic, that, Arteta's no mug, clocking the December slaughterhouse ahead. 8 games in 3 comps, from Brentford midweek to festive feasts that could feast on his squad's bones. In the cold light of a December dawn, this point at the bridge ain't half bad. Arsenal's second dropped off Chelsea in 12 goes, but it keeps the title train chugging amid the injury circus. Merino's moonshot up front hints at Arteta's tactical wizardry, Jesus lurking like a ghost of Christmases past, ready to haunt defences once his legs remember how to run. For Chelsea, it's a defiant draw that screams we're no mugs, Maresca's rebuild grinding gears against the big boys. Yet for the Gunners, the what ifs linger like fag ash on a bar stool. 2 points left in SW6, with City sniffing like foxes at the gate. Gabriel's heart says it all. Take the spoils, dust off, and crack on. Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!